incredibly proud of our team, the fight that they showed on all three sides of the football. Incredibly proud of how they continued to fight these last 5 weeks. And really what I told them after the game is about, it's true, is today in college football, today in life, it's so easy when things go against you to take your ball and go home, to take your ball and stop playing and to stop fighting. And if anything, these kids did just the opposite. They stood in the gap in a very difficult situation. They did everything we asked them to do. They came out to practice with great energy and enthusiasm that was evident in really these last 3 weeks that we played. Very, very disheartening for them, the hurt that they're feeling in that locker room. But what I reminded them of is how proud they should be of themselves by how they played. I mean, I haven't seen a defense fly around and play that physical in a long time. Special teams, they did a great job of running down. We got a few returns that got away from us to the field, but my message to our team is they should be very proud of themselves. There are no moral victories. We lost the football game 27-24, and there are very many opportunities for us to win the football game against the number 8 team in the country on the road. But like I've shared with them, this result won't define them, because as a Red Raider and as a guy that's played a lot of football at this school and been around this school for a long time, these dudes are studs. And they have a lot of character, they have a lot of substance, and whatever they go on and do, they're going to be highly successful. And we have one more football game to play in a bowl game, regardless of the opponent, regardless of what conference they're from. We're going to be really excited to play in this bowl game, and I'm very proud of our football team, and very, very, very proud of our football coaches who have stepped in and have continued to coach with great enthusiasm and passion. And that's what I told the kids that what we're going to do is they're going to get every bit of us every single day, and we got all of them, man, and they're great kids.
All right, we'll jump into questions.
Sonny, I saw a lot of members of the team kind of rallying around Garibay after the end of the game. Did you have a chance to talk about it?
Yeah, we did. We talked to Jonathan Garibay, and 10 times out of 10, I'd want him out there kicking that field goal. Didn't go our way, and he's the reason why really we're 6-6. We're going to a bowl game, and I would have Jonathan Garibay kick that field goal any day of the week, anytime you asked me to.
Just kind of going back to earlier in the game, when you guys went into the locker room at halftime, you guys came out of the gates hot in that third, and especially in that fourth quarter. When did you start to feel the momentum kind of swing back towards your way? Really, what did you see kind of just click in that fourth quarter especially?
I thought that we rose up really on 4 sides of the football towards the end of the first half and had momentum going into the locker room. And that was the challenge, was to keep that momentum on the road. It's hard to get, and I thought that we had gotten that momentum with a big stop. We forced them to punt, and then coming out, the third quarter offensively was not good, but the defense continued to keep us in the game. And then I think we finally got into a rhythm with some tempo with Donovan and in the offense, and then we really rose up. Just didn't make enough plays, but you got to, again, Baylor's a really good football team. Coach Aranda's done a really good job with this team, and both teams showed a lot of fight today.
Another guy who kind of really had a big second half, Colin Schooler. You saw in that first play, the first drive of the game, touchdown goes by him. He ends up making one of the biggest stops of that entire game at the end. When did you see him, I guess, kind of build himself back up?
That Collins played a lot of football, and he was disappointed in himself that he gave up a touchdown, but he wasn't fazed. He knew there's a lot of game left, and you saw there that was probably just as equal of a play that he made on the fourth down, batting the ball down. Really a heads-up play by him. He's a great football player, a really good leader. He's probably one of the most consistent people I've known in terms of his approach every single day, and then it shows on the game field on Saturday. And glad he's a Red Raider. And I thought that he did a really good job, leading and bouncing back from that early touchdown.
Sonny, your 1-minute offense again puts you in position. I think I had Donovan 5 out of 7 on that last drive.
Yeah.
What kind of growth have you seen from him in those situations?
I think he's just very poised. He has a great look in his eye about himself whenever we start the drive. I mean, you can tell a lot about kids and players, when you look them in the eye and kind of see what kind of confidence they have and where they're at. And I think he's real comfortable in that situation. And asking myself as we finish up that drive, I mean, shoot, maybe I should have been doing that the whole game. I mean, he did a great job. Our players got on the ball. Really executed well in the 1-minute situation without any timeouts left, and really proud of him and really proud of all the guys. And I think one of the things is what happens in those situations is there's not and don't take this the wrong way, but there's not a lot of thinking, and you're just reacting, and he's reacting, and he's really good.
I assume that as many field goals as you have seen go through the uprights with Jonathan this year, did you kind of feel like even from 53 yards he's invincible, he's going to do it again?
Yeah. I mean, that's the confidence that I have in John and our team has in John. And we would do it again, and we have a ton of confidence in him.
The touchdown pass to Travis. I'm sure obviously y'all ref that a lot. I assume you ref that quite a few times this week. What goes into deciding when to use that play?
Really, I think it was a second and long situation, and so in my mind, that was what I was thinking is more of a second and long situation. And we knew we were going to draw a lot of attention with Eric in the backfield, bulleting to the flat, so we used him on that one. And great job by our offensive line. I think there were several key blocks that were thrown. Kalen Geiger coming across the field, he started on the left side of the field, and he ends up blocking number 37 for Baylor to allow Kuntz to score. So, you wish they all would work out the way you dialed them up like that, but it was a really good effort by the O-line, and then Travis, too.
The touchdown to McClain from you being an old quarterback, what happens to get him so wide open? It looked like you guys simply turned him loose, expecting him to fell deep.
Yeah, that's what we some of the film study that we done, and just knowing when we go fast, it's basically just a vertical seam, and if you see a lot of single high, you're gonna have creases in that seam, and that's where we were able to attack it.
And going back to Colin and the touchdown pass there right at the beginning of the game, a lot of folks have asked, how does he get singled up on Edna in that situation? Of course, he's played that wide side linebacker the whole year, so he's done a lot of coverage like in slot and whatnot. But from what you saw, how did they get Edna ISO wide on him?
Yeah, it was a good play design by them. Motioning Tristan out there and getting him one-on-one with Colin, and just ran him on a vertical route, man coverage. That's what happens at times. As you get backers lined up, and Coach Patterson and the defensive staff did a nice job of adjusting off of that and allow them to have that, moving forward.
Obviously, you're happy to be still wearing the double team going forward next year, but these last 4 games with the way the guys have responded, how has that, I don't know, made you hungry or one day being got in charge of your own program? Because it looks like you're very much embracing this role. You don't seem hesitant about what you're doing.
Yeah, I think 5 weeks ago, the best advice that I received was that the circumstances I had no control over, but you have to make the best out of it, and so that's what we tried to do, and we tried to pour it into these kids, and give them, all of us, these last 4 to 5 weeks and into this bowl game. And it's been an enjoyable experience because of the coaches and how professional they've been. And when I mean professional, I don't mean it in a hired gun kind of way. I mean it in professional and caring for people. And that's what these coaches have been. And these players, incredible, Don. I mean, it's just been incredible how they've just been so responsive and so energetic and finished so much. It says a lot about them. So it's been a role that I've enjoyed, and it's been enjoyable because of the players and the assistant coaches.
I noticed you gave Blake Shapen kind of a low 5 when he charged off the field. That was two players really going all out to make a play there when he got blasted by Rico.
Yeah, no. I mean, this game was a physical game with teams flying around, a very physical game, and Blake a little bit from recruiting and a competitive kid, and was glad to see that he was okay, because that was quite a shot that he took from Rico.
I feel like Donovan Smith didn't really show any panic down the stretch there. What did you learn about your young quarterback?
He had a lot of poise at the end. He really did, and it was tough sledding throwing the football in the first half, third quarter. Again, against a good defense that doesn't give you anything. But Donovan stayed the course. He stayed the course, and really at the end of the game, he finished strong. And we just wish we could have made a few more plays, and the outcome would have been different.
The multiple big plays on defense. How kind of proud was Patterson of this group, and can you speak to the success that he just had?
Our defensive staff did a great job. I mean, they really did a good job as the season went on. When you look at the body of work of a team, how do they improve as the year goes on? How do they continue to get better, and do they play hard, and are they making the executing the assignments? And that's what our guys have done. And Coach Patterson, the defensive staff, have done a really nice job against really good running backs and playing physical. And so I think they've done a nice job, and how they handle the defense, and how much I feel like they've gotten better as we've gone through this season. And that's what you want as a team. And the results these last few weeks have not been what we wanted. But our guys have gotten better, and they've played really hard, and you don't get anything for that other than you don't get a win in the win column. But told those dudes they're winners in life, because they're going to know how to look adversity dead on right in the eye and fight their way out of it. And they've done that.
How long do you sit in this period of, I guess, heartbreak
Fortunately, we do have time, after this game to sit back and evaluate, our players and our team. And the biggest thing is for our kids to finish the semester in academics, finish up so they can all come to the bowl game for us, get a good plan together in terms of our practice plan. We've been going since August, just like everybody else in the country. It's a chance for them to catch their breath, to rest, mentally take a step back in terms of their approach to the football game, and then kind of get them amped back up closer we get to the bowl game. So, again, we'll have a team meeting on Monday and talk to them and kind of give them the schedule and the outline for the next month, and then we'll be off to the races.
Sonny, did I miss it, or did Sir Robert go back in at all after the fumble?
No, he did not. Yeah.
Was there anything wrong with him, or you just decided to go with Taj?
Just decided to go with Taj.
Kalen, talk a little bit about the game that Kalen had today.
Mhm.
Like maybe his best performance in a few weeks.
No doubt, yeah, I think it was. His best performance in a while, and went up, attacked footballs, and I think Kalen, he is so energetic, and he's so he gets himself wound up and is so excited to play. And I think today he just stayed within himself. He didn't try to do too much, and he made plays, got open over the middle of the field, and he's a playmaker. He loves football, and the things that you see on Saturdays from him are what we see in practice every day. The speed that he plays at is the same speed he practices at, and football means a great deal to him. And so you always enjoy it whenever kids do have success. And against good players too.
Your perimeter stuff, your Jets and perimeter stuff with the receivers and the little pitch reverse that Kalen.
Mhm.
Got some pretty good plays out of that, some pretty good games out of that today. Do you go into a game expecting to use those plays as much as you do, or is it kind of like, okay, it's worked a couple of times, stick with it?
Yeah, I like to call that French pastry, Don. Whenever we do that, and we kind of just dress everything up, give them a little French pastry. But no, we carry them into the game. You try to buy formation, what gives us the best look to try to get the ball out on the perimeter. Because a lot of our bread and butter run game is more in between the tackles, and so we have to be able to attack a defense horizontally as well. And so that's why we try to do that is by formation. What's the best way that we can get the ball out on the perimeter and get our guys the ball in space, because they're really hard to tackle.
Got time for about two more.
Don kind of just touched upon it, but Geiger, Kuntz, all guys that really hadn't really shown out in weeks past, but really showed out today. What can you say about just their overall solid performance in this game?
Yeah, they've been really consistent. They did a nice job today. When the ball came their way, they made plays on it, and we tried in a different few ways of getting the ball to Eric as well. But we got guys like McLean Mannix that stepped up. And that was good to see that Donovan was able to find those guys and spread the ball around a little bit. Xavier White catching the ball out of the backfield again on a 2-minute drill, getting out of bounds. Those are plays that you watch and you're just like, okay, he caught the ball for about a 5-yard gain, he got out of bounds. But it's such a critical play that he's smart and he gets the ball out of bounds. So really proud of how those guys competed.